Aline Pereira.
Without a straight right hand!
A woman whose punches land like violations of natural law. She's blasted her way through 3 sports.
He's going to be victory.
Turning every opponent into another highlight, improving one thing beyond doubt.
Nice.
She's a problem.
Knows her distance, and he's going to find that right hand again.
And if you're wondering where that kind of power was forged, Aline Pereira, the man whose left hook still echoes across combat sports.
Pereira trying to close.
But this isn't his legacy, this is hers, and the world is about to witness her rise. Aline Pereira's story began under the shadow of a giant. When everyone knew Alex Pereira as the man with the left hand of God, Aline was still the quiet storm forming behind him.
Straight right hand, a 1-2, and down goes Larson.
Watching, studying, waiting for her turn. The two shared more than blood. They shared something older, something sacred. Their roots ran deep into Brazil's Pataxó tribe, a lineage of warriors known for their resilience and spirit. That heritage wasn't just a story to them, it was their heartbeat. Aline grew up in a home that didn't have much, but it had one rule: never back down. When Alex traded poverty for purpose, walking into the fighting world with nothing but power and conviction,
The champion! Pereira trying to close.
his younger sister followed. Not because she wanted fame, but because she wanted to understand the fire that burned in him. Under the dim light of those early gyms, Alex became her teacher, her mentor, her mirror. He taught her distance, precision, timing, and above all, the left hook. Aline practiced it obsessively, not just to mimic him,
Oh, nice front kick from...
but to make it her own. But behind that calm stare, Aline carried a question that would define her future. Could she ever step out of her brother's shadow and carve her own name into combat history?
And a big straight right hand again, Crystal Low.
That question would follow her into the next chapter, where the gloves got smaller, the hits got heavier, and the journey from student to fighter truly began. Because to prove she was more than just Alex Pereira's sister, Aline had to start throwing punches that spoke louder than her name. And that began with her very first step into the ring. Every great fighter has a first test, that one moment when the dream stops being a fantasy and starts drawing blood. For Aline Pereira, that moment came inside a small, echoing gym where the crowd could barely fill 2 rows, but the stakes felt larger than life. Armed with a borrowed pair of gloves and the family weapons, she stepped into amateur boxing. Her stance mirrored Alex's, but the moment she started swinging, you could feel something different. Her punches weren't just powerful, they were personal. In those early fights, Aline fought like someone chasing a ghost. Her brother's legend hung in every jab. She was fast, but she wanted meaning behind every strike. And when that first clean hook landed, the sound cracked through the gym like thunder. That punch wasn't just a hit, it was identity announcing itself. Still, raw power couldn't mask inexperience. Aline often stayed planted after throwing combinations, leaving herself open for clinches and counterpunches. She'd win the crowd, but not always the judges. Amateur boxing didn't reward damage, it rewarded volume. So while her opponents threw a flurry of weak jabs, Aline's precise strikes didn't always count. When the decision went against her, she knew something the judges didn't. She wasn't built for point fighting, she was built for damage. That realization marked a turning point. Aline looked at Alex and saw the path forward, kickboxing, where power mattered more than paperwork. She traded the confined rhythm of amateur boxing for a world where aggression meant victory and knockouts were currency. By the time her amateur record stood at 21 wins, with most by knockout,
Big straight right hand again, and it was easy work for Aline Pereira.
the switch had already begun. Now the real test would begin. Her professional debut was waiting, and it would show the world that Alex Pereira's sister didn't just hit hard, she hit like destiny.
That she's known for. Boy, she does look a lot like her brother, especially when she throws those long...
Aline Pereira's professional journey started with WGP 39. And with that, every fan wanted to see if she could live up to her brother's name because her opponent, Aline Pereira, wasn't just another debutante. She was aggressive, compact, and fearless. But from the start, one thing was clear. Aline wasn't built like the others. Her stance was calm, breathing steady. It was Alex's poise in a different body. The first round began as a study session. Both women testing range, trading low kicks. Then midway through, Aline's jab started landing. Each punch had that Pereira precision.
Jeff's taking some of the brutal punches and knees from Aline is going to be the challenge going forward here.
The kind that makes the crowd lean forward. Her combinations snapped like whips. A jab cross, pivot, low kick, retreat.
Those arms and those legs just so much longer.
And when the bell rang early by mistake, both fighters instinctively walked to their corners, only to be told the round wasn't over.
Something happened. They thought they heard a bell or something, but the fight is going.
Aline smirked, stepped back in, and hammered a front kick followed by a left hook, nearly sending Pereira into the ropes. The crowd erupted.
Final seconds here back. Ooh, nice front kick from Aline Pereira, followed up by a nice right.
By the second round, the difference between them was daylight. Aline began reading her opponent like a book.
Nice left hand there from
Slipping punches, countering instantly. Pereira tried to stand her ground, but Aline's timing suffocated her. Then it happened. A perfect left hook, the Pereira family signature. It caught Pereira clean on the jaw and lifted her backwards. For a second, she froze mid-motion, suspended between defiance and defeat.
Windmilling those punches out there.
Somehow she got up, but the tone of the fight had changed. And in the short break between round, the camera caught a familiar figure leaning over the ropes. Alex Pereira himself. He was giving advice, calming her, like the same cold precision that made him a champion was now flowing through her veins. The third round wasn't a contest, it was a showcase. Aline stalked forward, mixing power with discipline. Every strike told a story about years of hunger, about a girl who'd been underestimated her whole life. Pereira kept clinching to survive, but Aline broke away with knees, body shots, hooks, pure violence in rhythm.
We're trying to get past the reach and get past the points of Aline Pereira. Nice body shot from Aline.
When the final bell rang, the judges didn't need long.
That is it. The end of our third fight here in Victoria.
Unanimous decision, Aline Pereira. Her style was cruel. Her movement, Powhatan DNA. But her mindset, pure Aline.
And a great debut for Aline Pereira there, the winner by unanimous decision.
That night, under the WGP banner, the quiet storm finally thundered. And just like that, the climb began. One victory turned into momentum. But every ascent brings a test, and hers came next when the spotlight met resistance. Fresh off her debut victory, Aline Pereira returned to the WGP stage hungrier than ever. Her next opponent, Maysa Borges, was faster, younger, and eager to make her name off the Pereira legacy. The bell rang, and right away, Aline's evolution was visible. Borges tried to close the distance with flurries, but Aline's footwork kept her just out of reach.
Looks like she has some great boxing skills. Great right leg kick by Aline.
When she fired back, she did it with purpose. A right cross that cracked through the air, followed by a low kick that made Borges stumble. Every time Maysa tried to find rhythm, Aline's left hand disrupted it like a thunderclap. Round after round, the pressure built. Borges tried to trade combinations, but Aline was already 3 moves ahead, slipping, countering, slicing through her defenses with a calm brutality.
Flurry of punches and kicks.
By the final round, the pattern was clear. Maysa was surviving, not fighting. When the bell finally rang, the decision was unanimous. Aline Pereira, victory. Another step forward, another lesson learned. But fate has a way of testing confidence.
Right. Aline is a little bit more experienced, but I would say that Maiza has a great future.
Her next fight at WGP 45, the Grand Prix semifinal, brought a different challenge. Elaine Lopes, a fighter built like a tank with the aggression to match. Lopes didn't respect Aline's timing. She stormed forward like a bull, throwing wild hooks and low kicks that chopped into Aline's legs.
Lopez definitely. Oh, and there goes a good kick by Pereira, but
From the first minute, it was chaos. Lopes wasn't backing off. Aline adjusted, tried to keep range with her jab and body shots, but the smaller fighter kept crashing into the pocket, forcing clinches, making it ugly.
oh, and a good kick.
You could see Alex at ringside, his calm advice threading through every exchange.
Good. Oh, and a good combination by both fighters. Both fighters scored.
By the second round, Aline started landing cleaner, stiffer jabs, crisp combinations. But Lopes refused to break.
Then another one. And a good low kick by. And there was a good knee.
Blood trickled from her nose, yet she grinned and pressed forward, throwing with reckless abandon.
And we can see that Aline Lopez is bleeding from her nose.
In the final round, Aline's strikes looked sharper, her movement more controlled, but the judges saw it differently.
And using the distance much better. Oh, and another good left leg.
Lopes' relentless aggression swayed the scorecards. When the announcement came, a unanimous decision, Aline Lopes.
Lopez scores a good left hook right at the very last second of this round.
Aline just nodded. It was the first real taste of defeat. Aline didn't break that night. She recalibrated. The setback became fuel, and her resolve hardened into something far more dangerous than confidence: purpose. After the narrow loss to Aline Lopes, Aline Pereira didn't disappear. She rebuilt. She returned to the gym, tightening every weakness, sharpening every weapon. Alex watched from across the mats, studying his sister the way a sculptor studies stone. The quiet storm was loading again. Her next test came at WGP 50 against Tatiana Campos, a scrappy brawler known for walking through punches. From the opening bell, Campos rushed forward like chaos in motion,
Let's see. And the start.
throwing looping shots that filled the ring with noise. Aline didn't panic. She timed her counters with sniper precision. A crisp left hook snapped.
In this first round, before it even gets started, good left hook by Aline.
Campos landed a body kick that briefly sent Aline down, but when she stood, her expression didn't change. If anything, her eyes burned colder. Round 2 was domination. Aline began to stalk her opponent, cutting off angles, landing heavy hooks to the body and head. Her punches carried intent.
Oh, and a good leg kick by Tatiana.
Each one a message that the Pereira bloodline had no room for hesitation. Midway through, she dropped Campos with a clean combination that sent the crowd to their feet. The referee gave an 8 count, but the damage was done. Campos survived the round, yet the control had shifted completely. By the third, Aline looked untouchable. Her low kicks carved welts into Campos' legs. Her jab kept her trapped against the ropes.
Oh, and a good knee followed by a good left hand by Aline.
Every strike landed with surgical rhythm. The bell sounded, and the result was obvious. Unanimous decision, Aline Pereira.
And the winner is Aline Pereira.
The confidence was back, welded to improvements you could see and hear. And with the regional chapter closed, the next door was the one that turns contenders into names. Every fighter dreams of a moment that defines them. One flash of violence that makes the crowd gasp and the world take notice. For Aline Pereira, that moment came under the blinding lights of Glory 71. She walked into the Chicago arena calm, expressionless, the same way her brother Alex used to before a storm. Across from her stood Crystal Lawson, shorter, stockier, and ready to brawl. The bell rang. One step forward, a jab, and Lawson's head whipped back.
Impressive in her Glory debut, a unanimous decision. Went out a straight right hand, a 1-2.
Another step straight right, and Lawson hit the floor. The crowd erupted as the referee counted, but the shock was still sinking in. Lawson beat the count, barely. Tried to rush inside, wrong choice.
I'm sure of it.
You can see how relaxed Aline Pereira is.
Aline met her with another 1-2 that landed like a hammer through glass, then followed with a knee to the midsection. That was it. The referee waved it off.
Sit there and go right into straight punches.
Oh, another knee, and that is it.
TKO, 59 seconds. The fastest finish in her division that night. The highlights spread everywhere. The knockout replayed on Glory's screens, on fan pages, on MMA forums.
Face, and a big straight right-handed kid, Crystal Lawson.
Suddenly, Alex Pereira's sister had a different ring to it. She wasn't just the relative of a world champion. She was the woman who ended fights before they began. But Glory brings gravity. Her next fight would test her composure like never before. Tiffany Van Soest, the reigning queen of footwork and experience. Where Lawson had charged, Tiffany hunt back. Her movement frustrated Aline. Her angles disrupted the rhythm.
Yeah, Tiffany just too fast. And Tiffany going to the body.
Aline still landed clean hooks, a few body shots, and one wicked left hand that staggered the champion in the final round. But the fight went the distance.
I think she's necessarily that much better. I think Pereira can get to this level. It just needs a little bit more time.
Unanimous decision, Van Soest. Aline had learned the difference between reaction and reading. She walked out of Glory 75 with her first major loss, but also with proof that she belonged at that level. So when the cage door closed on her next chapter, Aline wasn't chasing validation, she was chasing evolution. It was time to step into a new world, MMA, where the lessons far more painful. In 2022, she walked away from the ropes and into the cage, signing with Legacy Fighting Alliance, LFA, under the guidance of Glover Teixeira, with Alex training alongside her. The transition wasn't graceful, it was war.
To the world and excited to open the doors for our family too.
Aline was stepping into a world where one mistake on the ground could erase a lifetime of discipline. Her debut came at LFA 147 against veteran Helen Peralta, a grinder known for her pressure and clinch control. From the first bell, Aline's strikes looked sharp. Snapping jabs, straight punches.
My goodness, they have a way of throwing that left hook. It has a lot of power on it.
Even a high kick that made Peralta blink. But MMA isn't fair to specialists. Helen closed the distance, tied her up, and dragged the fight into the clinch.
Here comes Peralta right away. Said she was going to punch her way into the clinch. And she did.
Every time Aline tried to create space, Peralta's strength smothered her rhythm. Still, flashes of brilliance broke through. In the second round, Aline dropped Peralta briefly with a clean counter. A reminder that her hands were still dangerous in any rule set. But the veteran adjusted, grinding her against the cage, pressing her with takedowns and short shots that drained the clock. When the final horn sounded, the decision was unanimous. Helen Peralta by points.
Goes the way of Helen Peralta, the veteran.
Months later, she returned against Chelsea Connor at LFA 160 and showed growth. Her takedown defense had tightened, her distance management sharper.
30 seconds left. She doesn't care if she gets taken down. She won this round. Let's watch.
The left hook made its comeback, dropping Connor early and forcing her to clinch for survival. Aline stayed composed, used her footwork to keep the fight standing, and walked away with her first MMA victory by decision.
Unanimous decision, Aline Pereira.
But the next test against Cheyenne Bowers reminded her how steep the climb truly was. Aline started aggressively, but Bowers' grappling mastery took over. Takedown after takedown, ground control, suffocating pressure.
Don't try to move to mount right away. Don't try to advance, ride the bull.
The scorecards read 30-26 across the board. Another loss, another lesson. If MMA was too tangled in grappling, there was another battlefield that favored precision and power. Karate combat, a stage where her striking could finally breathe again. She arrived in October 2024, her brother Alex Pereira in her corner, the crowd buzzing to see if the Pereira legacy could bend another combat sport to its will.
High advantage, try and put herself in title contention quickly.
Her debut opponent, Dee Begley, didn't just face Aline the fighter. She faced years of frustration, training, and transformation compressed into one night. From the opening seconds, Aline stalked forward with that calm, predatory rhythm she inherited from Alex.
Herself quite a lot.
That means she's ready to throw.
Begley tried to move sideways to keep range, but every time she reset, Aline's eyes tracked her like a hawk. Then came the setup, a feint jab, a shift of the shoulders.
I'm always more nervous for my students, so I can only imagine my daughter.
And a clean cross-left hook combo that detonated like lightning. Begley's body collapsed before her mind caught up. The referee jumped in, waving it off barely 90 seconds into round one. The knockout was brutal, surgical, and familiar.
Watch it when she comes in. Cross, and now pop. Oh yeah, that was right on the nose.
The Pereira left hook had struck again, this time under new lights and a new rule set. That single punch didn't just win her the fight, it changed her career. Overnight, her highlight reel flooded social media. In one round, Aline went from rebuilding her name to carrying the sport's spotlight, but she wasn't finished. Her second outing at Karate Combat 52 came against Amanda Torres, a late replacement who had asked for the fight for months. This time, Aline showed patience. She controlled distance with long jabs and low kicks, forced exchanges only when she wanted them, and ended it in round two with another ruthless combination. A reminder that her power wasn't just a story, it was evidence. 2 fights, 2 finishes. Aline Pereira wasn't chasing her brother's path anymore. She was carving her own, and with the world watching, the next step would decide everything. By mid-2025, Aline Pereira had become more than a name. 2 knockouts deep into her Karate Combat run. The crowd didn't just cheer her entrance. They waited for the moment that punch would land.
Oof. Beautiful straight punches.
The one that looked eerily like Alex's, but somehow even sharper. Outside the pit, fame moved fast. Her following surged past 100,000. Endorsements appeared. Reporters asked Alex about her just as often as they asked about his own title fights. His response was always the same. She built this herself. That public nod from her brother meant more than any belt could. It symbolized something deeper. 2 siblings, descendants of the Pataxo warriors, now standing atop separate worlds, yet united by the same heartbeat. Behind the scenes, Aline's focus never wavered. Even in victory, her training intensified. Glover Teixeira refined her combinations. Alex fine-tuned her defense. And together, they built a sharper, meaner version of the same fighter who once doubted herself in the amateur days. And the Karate Combat 56 pit glowed like a coliseum carved from neon. In the red corner stood Aline Pereira, calm as ever. Across from her, Fani Palumpi, the Greek striker known for her grit, paced like a storm waiting to collide. The inaugural Women's Flyweight Championship was on the line, and both fighters knew what it meant. For Aline, it was more than a title. It was closure for every doubt that had ever shadowed her name. The first round began slow, both women reading distance.
You see that kind of classic Thai boxing guard of Palumpi.
Palumpi's kicks came sharp, chopping at range, but Aline's pressure was steady, no wasted movement. She stalked forward behind a crisp jab, her timing tight. By the final seconds of the round, Aline found her range and landed a clean right cross that echoed through the arena, snapping heads and cameras alike.
Nice. Beautiful. 1, 2 landed.
The second and third rounds turned into a chess match of violence. Palumpi kept firing high-volume kicks, while Aline punished the body with hooks and counter shots that thudded with intent. Every exchange felt like a test of composure. By the 4th round, Aline's rhythm took over. She slipped under a kick and returned fire with a brutal left hook.
The single kicks. Way slower. There we go. There we go. There's the left hook.
The Pereira signature, staggering Palumpi against the wall of the pit. Still, the Greek warrior refused to fall. The fifth and final round was fought in pure exhaustion. Heart versus will. Aline stayed relentless, walking forward through the barrage, landing 1-2 combinations and body shots that drained what was left of her opponent's gas tank.
Well, final minute here.
When the final bell rang, both women stood breathing hard, sweat dripping, neither collapsing. The crowd rose before the judges even spoke. Unanimous decision, Aline Pereira. The belt wrapped around her waist, gold glinting under the lights, and for the first time in her career, Aline broke. Tears poured down as Alex climbed into the pit, wrapping his arms around her.
Is your women's flyweight champion.
The same man who once taught her how to throw that perfect left hook now held her as a world champion. In that embrace, years of struggle, failure, and family legacy fused into one moment, a story completed. If you felt that story hit as hard as her left hook, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Drop a comment below and tell us who hits harder, Aline or Alex.